England's counties tell the story of our multilinguistic past. To outsiders, they may seem whimsical or even nonsensical, but they all have deep rooted meanings. They're taken from either Brythonic, the Celtic language spoken in Britain before the time of the Anglo-Saxons, or in Latin from the time of the Romans, and from Old English. There are three types of county names. The most common are the ones with the suffix shire or shire. We pronounce it shire when it's the suffix, for example, Wiltshire, but shire if we're referring to it on its own, like the Shire from The Hobbit. It comes from the Old English word scia, which just means jurisdiction or in the authority of. As you might have guessed from the Old English, the county system was introduced by the Anglo-Saxons. They were used to divide the country into more manageable regions, to organise taxation and military service. They were often overseen by a reeve, so we get shire-reeve, which is where we get our modern word sheriff. The boundaries of these shires were chosen based on old Anglo-Saxon or Celtic kingdoms before the country was unified, or by following natural geographic divisions like rivers or forests. Shires had shire towns, which were like the capital of the county. For example, in Oxfordshire, Oxford is the centre. Many shire towns were old Roman settlements. Any town ending in cester or chester was an old Roman fortified town, coming from the Roman word castra, meaning military camp, somewhere like Leicester or Worcester. So they give us Leicestershire and Worcestershire. These Roman towns had good defences, good roads, and were strategically placed throughout the country, so they made good centres of power for the Anglo-Saxons. So how did the remaining counties get their names? The second type of name comes from something I briefly mentioned earlier, the Old Kingdoms. Some are Anglo-Saxon, such as Sussex and Essex, which means the South Saxons and the East Saxons, and others are from the pre-Roman Celtic tribes like Kent, which comes from the Canty tribe, or the Dumnonia tribe, who give their name to Devon. Interestingly, Devon was known as Devonshire for a while in the 17th and 18th centuries, but this failed to catch on because there was no shire town called Devon, and its name was much older than the Anglo-Saxon county system. The third type of name comes from the geography, either of the people who lived there or of the landscape, like Cornwall, which comes from the Cornish word cerno, which means horn, which matches the shape of the peninsula, or Northumberland, which means the land north of the river Humber. Norfolk and Suffolk means the North folk and the South folk, respectively, and Somerset means the summer settlement or the people of the summer. What category does your county fall into? And if you're not from England, how are regions created where you're from?